Good morning, South Florida.
And welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show.
Grab your coffee as we brew up the talk of the day.
From the latest scoop around town
to feel-good stories and messages of hope.
A few jokes and live calling.
Highlighting local businesses.
Discussing hot trends and news stories.
A dash of feel-good nostalgia.
I love those morning cartoons.
Keeping up with upcoming events.
Sometimes trying and delicious foods.
Weekly horoscope updates.
An occasional flying duck.
Some sparkle dust.
Don't forget my bell.
And my wand.
With our brew crew laughing on set.
So grab your coffee, your bagel, donut, or any breakfast as we get you up and ready for the rest of your day.
And don't leave us hanging. Here is a follow. Comment live or call right into the show at 888-994-4995 Studio B.
Whether it's a tip of the day or just to say good morning, we'd love to hear from you.
From Amp Media Production Studio, it's
the Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show. Freddy. Freddy, you have to get up. We've got a morning show to do.
Just give me 5 more minutes. Where'd I put my hat?
Come on, Freddy. You don't have time. Get out of bed.
I can never find my hat when I need it.
We'll get the hat at the studio. Let's go. Pour yourself some coffee and get to the studio because it's time for the morning show.
Now, where's my bell?
Welcome to the morning show with Dawn and Freddie S., the South Florida show that everyone's talking about.
Yes. What happened?
Welcome. I don't know, but I got bells thrown at me. What happened, Michael?
I don't know where it is.
All right, never mind. Welcome to the morning show.
On the stage.
I'll look for it. I have to get up anyways.
I checked the stage. It wasn't on the stage.
I got bells thrown at me. You remember when we used to give these away? You have any more of these left?
I think I've got a couple, absolutely.
They go on your rearview mirror. So when you make a right, it goes. And when you make a left, it goes. You see the difference?
No.
Welcome to the morning show.
Say to you.
Are we percolating yet?
Percolating.
I gotta
What
tell
does
you,
that mean?
a lot of stuff happened last night.
It did?
Yeah.
What happened?
Congratulations to the University of Florida for being the basketball champions of the world.
It's pretty unbelievable, isn't it?
Oh, cool.
Well, they destroyed my bracket, I could tell you that.
I went to bed hearing
Thank you, Mona
that
Lisa.
Florida was down in double digits at halftime.
12 points down.
The next thing I know, Chuck comes in and he's like, they won. I said, how did they win? He said, the last shot of the game. Somehow it got missed, and I guess like Duke lost, Florida won. Duke lost on like the last shot of the game.
No,
last
but
week.
that was on Saturday.
Right, and then.
But yesterday, Houston was up by 12, and I don't know what the hell happened. All of a sudden, Florida just all over the ball, and the last play of the game, they couldn't inbound it, and he stepped over the back court. He could not touch the ball. It just turned into bloody hell. And congratulations to both teams. I mean, Houston played a great game, but my goodness, that kid from Florida is good.
Look at your whole outfit in black. It's nice.
This is a shirt that Lucky gave me.
It's a nice shirt. I know, I so digress. Like when you get dressed in the morning,
I'm gonna tell you
just
something.
wear black
I'm
today.
gonna beep you.
Girls wear black and blue and blue.
Well, the benefit of looking like that is he always looks that good.
You always look that good? Wow.
I'm going to start changing subject matter on you in the middle of the
Sorry, I'm just
conversation.
looking at you going, you look nice.
So did you see that the oranges in Florida are now orangier? Because
What?
nobody's picking them.
Oh.
So they're now staying on the tree longer.
Is that true?
So they're
So
becoming
it's
more
orangier.
orangier.
Yeah, the tariffs is affecting everything.
Okay.
All right.
There's no school. Did you go to school?
I did.
Was there
yes.
school?
Yes.
There was?
Yeah, there was.
So I guess my
Michael, tilt
information
that
was
down on
wrong.
the top.
Yeah.
The top
Well,
is
it
the camera.
appeared like everybody else wasn't at school.
Not everybody.
Just the
Yeah,
top.
it
There's the
seemed
camera,
like
Michael.
us,
Just
only
the
us
camera
college
head.
kids were, the ones who were forced to be at
Got your
school.
legs now.
Everybody else seemed like they were
So,
out.
so I heard a rumor that there was no class because
more
of
up.
the tariffs. Were they making fun of me?
I have no idea. Right there.
You guys went to class yesterday?
I went
I
to
did.
class, yeah.
There was
Half
class,
classes,
Fishbone?
right?
Yes, there was class.
So then the rumor was false.
Probably, yeah.
I see. Okay, well, there you go. Did you go to
Make that up,
class?
by the way?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
I thought you did.
Did you have class?
Yes, I did.
Did you walk in and tell the professor, I'm sorry, there's no class today because of the tariffs?
No.
When's
We-
one Here's the funny thing about you and the tariffs. I asked yesterday if they could do a segment on explaining it, and you said no, it's political. But yet, you can talk about it, but they can't. It doesn't make any sense. I think
Well,
what
here's
they
what
have to say is far more valid.
I say we just change the topic.
So did you hear that the oranges in Florida are juicy?
And it has nothing to do with the tariffs.
At all.
Leave that
I
out.
have a
crazy.
question
It
for
has
you
to do with
guys.
immigration.
Did you hear that Elton John?
Yes, yes.
Elton John and Madonna have been in
A feud.
a feud. I hate
Since
that word.
1989.
For a long time, and apparently, he said, "Forgive me,"
Yes.
and the feud is now over.
So they're gonna work on music together.
Well,
You know,
he-
he can't sing anymore.
He said the
Neither
whole
one of
world
them
is
can sing
so
anymore.
divisive that it's time to come together, which I love. So my
Mhm.
question to you all
Yes.
is: if you are in a feud, silent or knowingly, with somebody,
That can end with somebody.
no, like truthfully,
Oh.
and they said, "Forgive me," that's all they said. Would you forgive them and move on?
Yes.
You got to forgive them and let it go.
Yes.
Depending.
Depends.
How
On,
bad
like,
is the?
On what they did and what they're apologizing for. Because just saying I'm sorry isn't enough.
Isn't enough.
Unless you acknowledge, like, hey, what I did was, like, messed up. I'm sorry for this. I can't take it back. But, you know, going forward, I want you to know I'm a better person. I've changed. And, you know, that's not who I
You want a whole
am.
conversation with it.
Now you know the
Yeah.
feud between Elton John and Madonna was because Madonna was out there. She used to wear bras and brassieres and naked books and stuff like that. And Elton John, Sir Elton, didn't think that was appropriate.
That's
Nobody
not
really.
what I heard it was. I heard it
I
was
have
he
no
told her
idea.
that the James Bond song she sang was the worst one.
I'll die another
No,
day.
That was but that was after the reason. There was a reason why for that.
But their story aside, the concept of forgiveness,
Mm-hmm.
back to your movie, you would, Althea, you'd be like, you want a whole conversation.
100%.
You want to know why they're sorry. They won't do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah.
forgive me would not work for you.
Yeah, because like you can say, "Oh, I'm sorry," and it be insincere. Because you can say, "I'm sorry," just to placate another person. But if you actually be like, "Hey, I'm sorry. This is what I did wrong," then at least you are acknowledging, like, "Hey, looking back, I was definitely in the wrong."
Yeah.
It's not just a, "Oh, I'm sorry. Let's just forget about it." You
So
know,
if
forgive and
if it's
forget.
sincere, you'll know it.
Yeah,
You'll know it if
Yeah.
it's sincere.
yeah,
And then what you forget.
yeah.
You
I'd be like,
would.
okay, I'm willing to move past it now.
Wow.
That box is closed. I don't like opening, weird boxes. So I'm like, okay, let's move on.
I love opening weird boxes, but I don't know if.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
You do, Sarah?
Yeah.
Sarah, you forget. You're the cookie monster.
I'll forgive people if I feel like they, like, actually mean their apology.
Okay.
And it's in the same vein of, like, you can, like, move past things with someone without, like, I guess you yourself actually forgiving them, you know? Because, like, I've had coworkers we don't really get along, but, like, it doesn't matter. We have a job to do, so you just move past
But
that.
how
and you
could there
don't-
be not getting along in a beautiful chocolate factory? How can you
No,
not
it's
get
no
along?
one at the chocolate factory. No, it's just, like, in previous employment.
Oh,
I've had just coworkers.
different place.
Yeah, different places. I've had coworkers who just, like, don't really vibe,
Oh,
so, like, it doesn't
Now, if you
matter.
ask Michaela, though, she doesn't like to forgive. Right? I mean, I can
Who,
forgive-
push button?
Push button told us yesterday
She's
not into
mobster.
forgiveness.
Push button is mobster.
She holds on,
She
she
should be mobster.
No, you can forgive. It's just like
Not forget.
You don't forget that
Yeah.
that happened.
Yeah.
In your mind, you're like, okay, this is strike
remember
one,
you did,
and if you
yeah.
do something else like this again, it's like, it's over.
But if someone says they're sorry, do they get a clean slate?
No.
No, because
No.
you can,
Really?
Because people
You say
can
no?
backslide.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you
I
can
don't
say
know if
I
sorry
can
and
ever-
not acknowledge.
I don't know if I
Because
can
just
forget.
saying sorry and not changing the behavior is no excuse. You have to acknowledge that you did it, change the behavior, and prove and earn that trust back.
Let me ask a question related to this. Why would they say I'm sorry?
Well, like Elton John did.
No, forget about him. Why would they say I'm sorry? What prompts somebody to say I'm sorry, knowing that what they did at the time was wrong, and now they say I'm sorry? That just my antennas are going up. Why are you asking for forgiveness now?
Oh, go on.
I was gonna say, I hope it's because they've done some, like, self-reflection, and they, like, ruminated on their past actions, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. It was kind of a butthole move of me, you know?
Especially because some people don't realize what in the moment. A lot of people are reactive, so they'll just say whatever they say and just like kind of storm off and come back, and then they're like, once they cool down, they're like, "Dang, I shouldn't
No,
have said
but what
that."
if it's been years?
Usually it's
In
guilt.
that case, then I hope then you know
Hold
you've
on.
done self-respect.
It's usually guilt.
So do they feel guilty when they did
feel
it?
Guilty because they did it, but they also don't like that feeling that they have within themselves. It's almost like they want to make themselves feel better, not you feel better for forgiving.
So they ask you
asking
for forgiveness to feel
It's
better.
like
for
confession.
themselves.
It's like the telltale heart.
This is why I have a hard time.
I've dealt with people like that
Accepting
who are
that.
only asking for forgiveness to make themselves feel better, not to acknowledge that they did me wrong and to make me feel better and heal that relationship. It's just they're being selfish.
Now that's some hell of a perspective right there. Maybe that's what I live.
It's funny because I thought you would be the first, because you've said it to me before. If they've said they're sorry, you need to move on, and you've told me that. And here
Time
I
out.
ask you the
Time out.
question, and you tell
Time
me
out.
no.
Time
which I
out.
find
First of all, I would never say you
fascinating.
need to. Don't say that. Because you blow everything out of context. That's not
You
correct.
remember saying that to me?
I said you have a choice to.
It's
And-
different what he teaches and what
and-
he teaches.
Because I see the reason they did what they did. Again, we're back to the reason. The reason that I say to forgive is different than what she just said. What she just said is deep. That one stems in my soul of people that have done me wrong.
That they're just trying to clear their conscience.
That's the way I see it. But I didn't want to say that because if I say that, people blow everything out of proportion. But
It's true. It's either that or it's either they truly feel sorry for what they did and they want to make it better between you two. It's either that or it's they have a guilty The
conscience.
thing is, that's on. If that happens, you have to be the one to try and decide if which one they mean.
Well, that's the other dilemma to the puzzle. Push button, I'm really intrigued. Do you see it that way? Is because they're trying to clear their conscience, or you just don't want to forgive people?
No, I see it in the they don't want it. They just want to clear their conscience.
And so you don't like being in that position.
Well, because if it's not genuine, then why should I even?
Okay.
You know.
And you can tell when it's genuine too, like when they truly mean it, and if they're just kind of saying it for themselves. Like there's I don't know, I can tell because I've
All right,
had
then I got a
people.
question for you.
Mhm.
Here is 0 and here is 10.
Mhm.
0, 10.
Mhm.
How much do you trust people? From 1 to 10. From 0 to 10.
People as a
6.
whole?
You trust people as a 6.
Yeah, it's always good to have a healthy amount of skepticism.
That is true.
I agree. Yeah.
What number,
Yeah.
Cookie Monster? 0 to 10.
I agree with the 6.
It seems to be the hot number. You?
Well, until they've proven, I don't trust anyone until they. I don't trust anyone until they.
0 to 6, Michael. Don't change the
Right.
equation.
I
What-
guess 6.
Another 6.
I'd probably say, just like right off the bat, like how much I'm trusting someone.
Don't change the question.
Okay.
0 to 6. 0 to 10.
I'd say a 7.
Alright.
Okay. You're more
I
trustworthy.
am a little bit more
You trust
trusting.
me?
I mean, I like am aware of everything, but I like to, you know,
Give
believe
the benefit
best.
of the doubt.
Yes,
Yeah.
give the benefit of the doubt.
So you're a 7.
Yeah.
I
Mom-
agree with 7.
Talk about nonverbal cues over there.
No, what was that, Freddy?
Okay.
She trusts.
I trust people, but it doesn't mean I have to
Trust them?
spew all of my information to each and every person I meet.
Right,
I'm
right.
cautious.
I never said that.
That's what you're
I
implying.
think
You're
there's
implying
trust, there's trust on conversation, and then there's
We'll
would
give
you
it
give
to you.
everyone
What number are
your
you, Lucy?
8 until they do me wrong.
There-
Wow.
I
Push button.
started at 8, and then they've
I-
got it's their choice.
I
to
got you.
wanna
go.
switch it.
Push button.
About a 6. I'd say 6.
See?
How about you?
10.
You do trust everyone.
I have to.
Why?
Because you can only drop the ball. You ever heard that class where you walk in, you get an A, and the only way you can fail this class is by dropping the ball? You ever had a teacher like that?
No.
They gave me an A in class. I ended up with an F. And I said, why did I get an F? I said, because you didn't, he says to me, because you didn't even try. So I said, so if I had tried, I would have kept my A? He says, yes. And I learned that lesson for the rest of my life. So I'm a
What were
10.
you doing in class? Did you just show up and just sit there?
I
Some-
didn't show up.
Sometimes I didn't even show up. I had an A.
The
What the
bare
hell was I going to
minimum.
show up for?
The bare minimum.
Can you imagine you as a kid?
Not even the minimum.
No.
Can you imagine him as a kid?
No. When I was a
I don't want
kid,
to.
when I was a kid, I was to study.
I can't
wanted
imagine
to
him with
study.
hair.
Can't imagine with hair.
Oh, I can show you pictures.
I can't imagine you as a kid.
I know.
When I was a high schooler, my life changed because I didn't have a good high school.
Oh.
It was horrible. And NYU was an experience. I'm gonna tell you. I didn't date when I was in high school. I went buck ass crazy in college, and forget about it. But before
Most
high
yourself
school,
was that bad.
before high school was fun. It was everything was books. Learn this, learn that, learn as much as I can. I was like him. Worse.
It's interesting. Trust is a big thing. Anyway.
Then I have another question. You brought up a good subject. So let's say somebody asks you opinion on something, like we just did, and somebody looks at you, and they turn their head sideways. Does that mean that you think that they're thinking something negative or against what you're saying?
Yeah, it's all about body language and facial expressions.
Is that what it is, or is
Yeah.
it your interpretation? Maybe I had a crick in my neck. I was just going like this.
Well, based on what we've been taught growing up and based on societal cues, the body language and facial expressions you showed me when I don't even know what I said. But what
You
I
were
said,
7.
it implied
An
that
8.
you were thinking I said something wrong or you don't agree
You see,
with what
but
I
that's
said.
what you're picking up.
Or
I
he's
didn't-
confused.
I tried just to confuse you.
That's on you trying to confuse
No,
me
it's
with your
not
body
because you're the
language.
one that accepted and says, "Oh, you're thinking I'm this and this and this and that."
Because we learned that the body language that you had and the
But do
facial
you ever think
expressions
that
you had
maybe
is,
that particular instant you were wrong?
I could
That's
have been.
always potential.
There's no
yeah.
saying it's right or wrong,
I mean,
but
she's
that's
drawing her interpretation.
Yeah.
I could
See,
have been wrong in my
that's
interpretation.
But then
Okay.
that kind of
But that's
implies
very-
that there's a
That's common.
there's
See,
that,
reading
that,
body language is something that
But
I
hold
have
on a
trouble
second.
with.
But then doesn't that change your persona when you're having when you're in conversation with people? Like if you're talking to somebody and he asks you a personal question about you, and he turns his head and his eyebrow goes up, like what's his name? The wrestler.
Spock.
Yeah. Does that change your persona because your perception now has changed? Does it change the?
I would assume that they're
conversation.
kind of now confused.
It
like,
changes
like,
the flow of the conversation for sure.
It
Yeah.
does.
Yes.
But
I'd
it
be like,
does
oh, are
because
you
of a
confused
look.
about something? Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if
'Cause
he
if,
said nothing.
if
simple
I'm talking
as-
to you and you give me a look that you don't understand, I'm gonna be like, are you understanding what I'm saying? I'm not
And
gonna
then,
just
yeah, then you
continue.
pause
So
to
I'm gonna pause.
elaborate.
Yeah.
So, but does that change you?
What do you
yeah.
mean?
What,
Does
what-
it change your approach towards me? Because
Yes.
Yeah.
it does.
yes.
Oh, I'm learning
The simplest
something
things of like having a conversation and tilting your head and nodding, like that signals to someone. It's a nonverbal cue that signals I'm listening, I'm understanding what you're saying. Just like nodding and doing
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
So
it's
let me-
very
Nodding.
different than me. Just
Then
like
let me
this.
ask you a question. When you're
staring at you.
negotiating
Yeah.
a situation, whether it's a date, money, a car, and anything else, if the guy gives a cue on purpose, can you see the difference?
I guess
If
it
it's
depends
our
on the cue.
established.
If the guy is trying to establish a position, a higher position in the negotiations, and he goes like this, or he looks at you a certain way, then you find yourself defending your position.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
especially in dating
No,
and any
not
kind
yes.
of.
Stop. No, it's not yes.
It is yes.
No, it's not yes.
Why?
Because you're weakening your position simply because the guy's looking or the girl's looking at you a certain way. Don't do that.
In what? Are you talking about a business meeting or a date?
And everything, even dating.
No, it's very it's
Even
different.
dating. You just told me you won't date a guy that's shorter than you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Wait.
I'm 5'2".
So he's 5'1".
No.
You won't
He
date a
needs to
5'1"?
have. He could at least be 5'5".
What about 5'2"?
But even then,
5'3"?
no.
That's the no zone?
I said the lowest I would go is 5'8".
What?
Because I've dated someone who's 5'8". That's the shortest person I've ever dated. and
So
that
you
was
would you
okay.
rather date a 5'8" monster than a 5'2" great guy?
I'll never date a 5'8" monster because I don't date monsters.
There you go.
My standards are set so high, I won't even. No,
Your standards are that high?
very high.
So you've got a lot of nonverbal cues. Like everything you do is
Yeah.
nonverbal.
Everything.
Everything. To the point where we can be in a meeting. If you pick up your phone, I know you're done.
Yeah.
No, it's not that I'm done. It's that the person's talking. There's no period in the sentence. I got to get a break in the action.
Yeah,
Otherwise, I'm
you're
gonna say,
bored.
yo, what is
Yeah,
going
that
on
tells
here?
me that you're bored then.
Right.
Not
Tells us
bored.
that
Or you've
just
started to check out.
disinterested.
Yeah.
Okay, say to me, look at me and say, hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Okay, how long did that take? Like 2 seconds?
Yeah.
How would you like that sentence to be 20 minutes?
I mean, if I'm in an interview, that's kind of like what we're supposed to be.
Not an
Hi.
interview. She's
Just
talking
in
about
general?
negotiations and things of that nature. The
Even a
problem
meeting.
is that people use verbiage to try to increase their position.
They like to ramble
But you know why?
because they think that, like you just said, they're putting their position higher than you. If
That's
if
right.
they talk more, if they speak over you.
It sounds like they're educated.
Yeah.
You know, most bullies bully you because they want to feel superior in their lack of judgment or whatever you like.
Their inadequacy.
So when I pick up, at least I don't leave the room.
You've done that too.
No,
As
I
soon
only
as
did
you-
that one
When
time.
you leave a room, I know you are done. The negotiations are over. I can stand on my head and spit quarters. The
Yeah, but you leave the
conversation
room
is
in
over.
every negotiation.
But then I come back.
Sometimes.
That's
And when
because-
you come back, you don't even know what the hell was said.
But
How do you
that's
do
the
a deal
difference
like
between-
that?
Because that's the difference between you and me. When you leave, you're done. When I leave, it's because there might be 10 questions out there. Someone wants a cup of coffee. Another client walked in, and I'll come back. It doesn't mean I'm done with the conversation.
I'm going to tell what the problem is. I need napkins in every room.
Why?
And a pen. Why? Because I like to
His
diddle
notepad.
daddle. And then I
Yeah,
do
get
a contract.
notepad, bro.
No.
But that's it's different.
Listen, bro, I don't use
Everyone's
notepads. I
different
use
on the-
napkins.
On their
Just
on
get
how it works.
there's pocket notebooks.
I don't want a pocket notebook. I want a napkin.
We used to have them. Do you remember?
Crazy.
We had AMP notepads in every room.
Those are gone.
They were gone.
There is nothing better than a napkin. Now, why is that?
You can jot down your notes. You can clean up messes and spills. You can clean. You can I don't know. There's the
Spontaneity.
She's being facetious.
You can give it
No,
to
I'm being
them.
serious.
Why do you think a napkin in a negotiations, let's say that the contract is $25,000, would you pull out a napkin?
No,
No.
Why?
I don't know. I would feel
because I don't want to accidentally throw it away.
You feel
That
unprofessional.
seems,
If I
yeah, that
pulled out
seems
a napkin,
unofficial.
Like
Wait a
to
minute,
write
hold
on
on.
it?
Huh?
To write on it?
Well, yeah, I'm not going to blow my nose on it,
No,
yeah.
Right on.
I would feel like I'd feel unprofessional.
Why? You're putting
Because it's
yourself at
not-
a defeatist
But it's
situation.
not like, but it's not the use.
It
of
makes
the
me
napkin.
feel like I am in control.
Crazy.
Like, man, if I write on this napkin and you watch my hand, and you watch, people will watch my hand. I showed you this. And they'll watch me doodle on the damn napkin. And then let me do this. You know what they tell me at the end of the night? Can I have the napkin? Because they can't believe that I would do it. So it's not a negative, it's a positive. If you believe in you, it don't matter what you write. I'll write on her arm if I have to.
I did that yesterday with a phone number.
It doesn't make a difference.
But that's like jotting down,
I
though.
did that yesterday with a phone
That's
number.
like
because
just
there was
oh
no paper in here.
yeah.
It's
I'll
not
talk
funny.
to you
I'm
later.
like,
Let me
oh,
just
I'll
jot
show
down
you.
your phone
I'll show
number.
you something that I learned. So when you talk to me, I'm gonna jot your words down.
Mhm.
I'm gonna turn it around so you can read it.
Mhm.
Those are your words.
Mhm.
Especially when he says, "We don't have the money for it. I'll get back to you." Because those are just excuses on a napkin.
Mhm.
Okay, those words don't really mean anything to a deal. You either make a deal or you don't make a deal. And if you don't make a deal, you have your own problems. If you do make a deal, you're taking a chance on something that works. But never feel that you are below when you're negotiating a deal. Always stay above.
But you ever feel like, I don't mean this arrogantly, that
No,
you're
she's
too...
so arrogant.
No, seriously, that you're too above a deal, you're in the middle of a deal, and there's other people there, and you think, this makes so much sense to me, I got this.
No.
And everyone else in the meeting doesn't understand.
That's
And
okay.
you're
Then you
entitled-
have not delivered the deal.
Yeah, it's not your deal to deliver. You're on the receiving end of an opportunity.
Then I tell them, hey, listen, let me tell you something. We had the Comcast guy in here. He came in here with a ridiculous number. And I says, first of all, I know you're lying to me because I can see it on the website that it's cheaper. Did I know that?
No, you made that up.
I made it up. And what did he do?
He laughed.
And then he came back. He came back with a lower number.
Yes.
That's still not good enough. And I'm going to get the number I want simply by him walking in here tells me that he thinks he's here. If I had a napkin, I'd take it out and I'd show him, no, this is not the way it works. So you have to be in control of the situation if you want the best.
See, they're in a whole different situation. They've got the business side, and then they've got the relationship dating side. Different than business guys.
What the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
Dating is not the same
Interactions,
thing.
conversation. Well, that's what I'm asking. So they
dating
have
is-
to have different levels of processing each interaction.
Negotiate a date like you would a business deal.
Would you negotiate?
But that kind of comes off aggressive.
You don't think you would
I
do
wouldn't
that?
approach it that way.
What would you?
Yeah.
How you would do the gushy gushy? Oh, I like you.
No. Gushy, no.
So what would, how would
But
you?
I wouldn't be as like. I mean, it'd be direct, but not as. I don't know. I wouldn't.
Oh, like overly forceful or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
aggressive.
You're not aggressive. You?
Mm-mm.
You're not.
No.
Listen, you're a woman that knows what she wants. That's the vibe you give me. That's not aggressive.
No.
I would be intimidated by you
Which is
Why?
crazy.
because you know what you want. You see, Mona Lisa, I call her the stealth bomber. Because I don't know what I'm going to get here. I don't know. But with you, I know you come at me. You're going to be direct. Same thing with you. You're going to be direct as to what you want.
Heather's direct with you.
Nah, see, Heather has a different way of doing things. She does the
I like
old
being
look
called a
thing.
stealth bomber.
You like that.
Because you'll never know when
You
I'm just
never
gonna
know.
come
You will
around
never
and-
know the inner workings of this one. You know the inner workings of this one. Now, that one over there, I don't know anything about. Push button.
She's finally coming out of her shell and she's leaving.
What?
That's crazy.
Where are you going?
She's going home.
Going home.
Oh,
She's graduating and going home. I know.
you graduate in May?
Yeah.
Nice. And then we finally get her where she talks. and we know her a little bit. And
Well,
she's
she
gotta
talks. She's quiet
Go.
at
And
home.
she's got to go.
She has a temper. That's why she has to restrain it.
You have a temper? I don't think so. I don't, can't
I don't
imagine her
think
having a
so.
temper. Why? You think you can read me?
Me?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to read you.
So, I don't know.
I don't have glasses thick enough to read you.
I know. I think that's pretty true. Like
I watch what you do, and I sort of I understand you on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You're a different person on Tuesday and Thursday. Forget about the weekend. There,
my internal dialogue is so loud in my head that I can't imagine that somebody's not listening. And then I realize they have no idea about my internal dialogue. All they're seeing is me smile and nod my head. And I could be at the grocery store. I could be depositing a check. I can be doing all these things. Who's the next person in my mind I have to email? And I'm just sitting there going like that. And I realize that's on my own internal.
But that's not who you are.
But I'm wondering, can you read all that?
I see all that. How can I not read
They
it?
must be screaming at you all the time then.
Who?
Right, do you ever think that your internal dialogue is so loud that everyone must know what it is?
I swear to
No.
God,
You
there's a
can't
medication for that.
But you can't because you've got, yesterday, I was on a Zoom call. Someone else wanted something, another client needed something else, and I need to contact his client, and then another producer walks in and says, "Can you do this for me?"
No.
And I went like
No.
this. Because
That's not what
can I
happened. That's not what happened. Apparently, she had a conversation with this client, and they exchanged emails, which I knew nothing about. Then when I saw that it was time for this client to go on the air, I said, "Where is he? What's going on?" "Oh, it's this, this, and that." So she gives me 3 aspects of it's this, and that, right? So he calls. Now he's upset because she's on a conference call and she can't evacuate the conference. So I came to the door. I said, "You got to call this guy. I have him on the phone." And all he kept saying is I sent the email to Dawn over and over, just over and over, and just over and over again. So I look at her and I said, "What do you want me to do? He won't talk to me. He wants to talk to you. You got the information." And she's giving me the hand signals. I thought a plane was going to land any minute.
It was but that wasn't what I meant. So all the things in my head, but you can't verbalize
I
it
didn't
all,
know
and
what the hell
can't
you were
show
talking
it.
about.
I
Who
just
was
mean
the
in general.
woman in the deal? And why was she being interviewed? And there was a black screen. I don't know what you guys did. And then I went over to Jay and I said, "Listen, I threw my hands up in the air because I don't know what she's doing."
But that wasn't the point of my conversation. The point was the internal dialogue in my head, but that's what I had to do to everybody was nod my head, shake
What
and say
internal
yes.
dialogue?
You don't have internal dialogue as a man?
As a man now? No, that wasn't internal dialogue. That was no dialogue. You had all the
Babies have
information.
internal dialogue all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talk to myself all the time.
Do you
yeah.
have internal dialogue?
Not
That's how I
that much.
process.
That is the difference between men and women. That's the title of today's show. You have internal dialogue as a man.
Yo, there's a pill for that.
You don't?
Are you insane?
I think this is pretty
Do you guys
normal.
understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
It is
yes.
pretty, yeah.
Can you
Seriously?
please help me
Yeah.
out here?
Yeah,
Because it's not about the outside.
Like you talk about it's not that you're talking to yourself,
No.
but it's just things that you need to say, things that are
To
going
who?
on. Just,
To like a
just
little
to
internal
yourself?
person.
To yourself?
Yeah.
You are talking
I
to
guess you're
yourself.
talking to yourself.
So
but
let me
not-
get this right.
not
You're
like a
having an
fool.
intellectual conversation
Yes,
with yourself.
yes,
You're
I
asking
have
questions
thesis.
and answers. You
Yes.
ain't expected.
I run over
You
in
have a
my
thesis.
head my schedule. I'm like,
So,
oh,
so you
okay.
overwhelm yourself in your internal
It's not
conversation.
overwhelming. It's just going over the itinerary of today. I'm like, oh, okay. After this, I'll leave at this time.
So
and
you
then I
talk
go
to
this
yourself?
class, and
Yeah.
blah, blah,
In third person?
I guess.
Yeah.
Holy,
Sometimes if
God.
I need to, if I'm really sad or if I'm in a bad mood, I'll have that in my head. I'm like, come on, girl, get up. You can do it. Like, come on, just go to the kitchen and get some food. Like, just a pep up.
Oh, so you talk to yourself to go eat. So let's go get a snack. And then the other one says, I don't want to get up. Get up now. Go. So you have a whole back and forth?
Yes.
Did you guys ever see Lizzie McGuire? Are you too young?
Wait, yes.
Right? And so
She
the
has her little
animated
version.
version of her?
Yeah.
Exactly,
That's
yes.
in my head right now. You're like, who? You know?
And this is Hillary Duff at the start of her career.
You
Push.
have internal dialogue?
No, you don't.
Not that much?
No, you don't. Please.
I think my internal dialogue is probably different than
yours is
other
like The
people's internal
Exorcist.
dialogue.
Yours like screams at your ah!
No, I just think it's like other related things.
Like other people. So you have other people in your head.
No.
You know there is a movie.
But
What was
men
it
don't
called?
even have it at
Multiple
all.
personalities.
Oh, yeah.
Sybil. There is a movie called Sybil. Have you seen it?
No.
Has 26 people in her head.
But it's like you'll say to me.
You
what's
mean
on-
Split?
He says,
Oh,
what's
I've
on the
seen that.
agenda
Well,
for
that's
today?
a movie. That's split personality disorder.
Yeah.
But it's like that's literally you're acting
But you
out
have
different-
multiple people in your head.
No, I don't.
No.
You
You
just
No.
tell me you
It's
have-
not multiple.
You
It's just
literally
like
said- you
just talking
said
to
that.
yourself.
I did not say that.
Okay, so what did you say exactly?
I said I think my internal dialogue may be different than other people's internal dialogue because
Meaning?
of other things.
Because
Meaning
it's yours.
ADHD, OCD related.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's,
Different
everyone
thoughts.
has their own internal dialogue that's different.
Yeah.
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 Right? That's what makes you you. Except men apparently don't have that, which is amazing to me.
Oh, so that's why they don't think things through sometimes.
That's why you can actually ask a guy what they're thinking and they'll tell you nothing.
You know, like there's a comedian who goes,
Nothing.
is like, what are you thinking? I'm thinking I can make the car shoot beer out of the windshield wiper into my mouth. What?
Oh, it's like that one meme that you always see where he's like, oh, I bet she's thinking about other woman. And he's like, man, what is the... I haven't thought of the Roman Empire in forever. Or is there something completely different?
It's amazing.
Let's ask
Which one?
Yeah.
You have internal dialogue?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, no, there's this comedian named like Billy Gardner or something. It's so funny because he talks about how women, when you ask us what we're thinking, you'll be amazed at the level of stupidity of what we're
That's what I'm
thinking.
saying. I know. It's
That's why we
unbelievable.
say we don't think anything, because we think you guys are going to think we're stupid.
Not that we're going to think you're stupid.
They already
it's just,
do.
No, it's
They're
is that
stupider.
really what's on your mind in
Yeah.
the middle of...
Well, you see, now you want to know what's on my mind?
Like I-
She thinks I'm stupid. So I'm not going to answer this question, because if I do, she's going to say I'm
If
stupider.
I said, what's on your mind, and you said to me, I don't know what I'm having for dinner, I'd be like, of everything we're going through today,
Exactly. That's the
sentence
sentence we're
like,
talking.
Chuck will do that to me. I'm just
But
in
you
the
see-
shower, and he says to me, what do you want for dinner? In the morning, I go, what?
Yeah, I do too.
Dinner?
Yeah.
I haven't even thought about breakfast, and I haven't even put on my makeup or my lipstick yet. Dinner is
Well, then I could never
inconsequential.
live with you, because the first thing out of bed when we get up, I would say, what do you want for dinner?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Like ever
Honestly,
since,
yes.
yeah.
Yes. When I wake up, I'm like, when am I going to eat? And I'm like, okay, it's 8 o'clock. Okay, I'm going to have this. Or am I going to wait for lunch and I eat this? Or can I wait for dinner and then I go here?
Yeah, but you're having a whole conversation in your head at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Okay,
I
what if
can't
someone
do-
calls you in the morning? This happened this morning. I get a phone call at 6:28, and it's a client.
What's a butt dog?
But I don't know that at the time. Do you answer or don't you?
Yeah.
If
I
I'm not
answer.
awake,
I don't
yeah.
think so. If I'm not
If
awake,
you're awake and you see it.
oh, if I'm awake, sure I'll answer. But if I'm like not awake and you can hear that like I just woke up, I'm not gonna answer.
If it's you guys, I would answer it, because obviously something's not
going
right.
on, right.
Mm-hmm.
If it's you guys. If it's my sister, I would. Anybody else, I don't. I wait and then
Yeah.
I call back.
If I'm expecting a call from somebody or it's my mom, I'm like, and I'm awake and I catch it. Or sometimes the vibration will just wake me up. I'm like, hello. First thing in the morning, I don't even check who it is. And then if it's spam, I'm just like, ugh, and then I go straight back to sleep. But I hate that because once I'm awake, I can't go
It
back to
disturbs your
sleep.
sleep.
And it's
Yeah,
like,
the way I look at it is if it's really that important, they'll leave a voicemail. And then
Yeah.
I can get back to you when I am ready to get back to you.
That's
You're
what
on
I
my
did this
time,
morning,
I'm on
yeah.
your time.
I need bail money. 3 days later. Okay, so one of the paintings fell here when we first moved in here. And the alarm went off, and it was 4 o'clock in the morning. And they call us. Yeah. So it's 4 in the morning. I'm saying, damn, it's 4:38. No, it was 4 o'clock. I said, should I call Dawn? So I texted her, no answer. I said, that's not a good sign. And I didn't know whether I should run to the studio. I did the first time. I didn't do it after that because they said the cops were here and everything was fine. So it was 4:30, and I said, And let me call Dawn. She didn't pick up.
Of course, I'm asleep.
Yeah, my mom's like that. My mom will ask me, will say, "Well, call me before you do something, so we can discuss."
I could talk you out of it.
Yeah, but then I'll call her, and she'll go, "I can't answer the phone right now." I'm going, "Then why are you asking me to call you?" And then I go and do it what I was going to do anyway. She goes, "Why did you call me?" I go, "I did. You didn't answer." "Well, I can't answer the phone 24/7. Then don't ask me to call you."
She meant to call her at her convenience so she could talk to you about your life.
Right, but then she goes, then when I do call her, it takes her 8 hours to make a 2-second decision. I'm like, why would I do that? Why would I give you 8 hours to make a 2-second decision? The answer is always no.
She's giving you wisdom.
Wisdom.
Yeah.
All right, so here's my next question. You've got finals, you've got all these things on your plate is totally full, and someone gives you an incredible opportunity. Do you take it?
Yes.
Or do you say,
yeah, take it. Get a bigger plate, man.
Depending on the opportunity.
A great opportunity.
An opportunity that you never knew existed.
But you have to make it great. In other words, here it is. It can go this way, but you have to get it there. That's what we deem as great opportunity.
And I skip my final?
Can you skip your final? No. You got to continue to do what you're doing. You just add another element to your greatnessness.
If it was only school I had to deal with, yes. But because I have work, school, I'd have to really consider it. Like, be like, can I? What will I have to sacrifice for this opportunity?
You push yourself hard. Sacrifice is going to be time. It's always time. You know how young you are?
Too much time, and I lose.
You ain't got nothing but time on your side. So what you're going to sacrifice more than everything else is time. That extra hour is sleep, or that hanging out with your friends for an hour, or being on a computer game for an hour.
Hang out with my friends.
But what if it's not the physical time? What if it's the emotional time? Can you emotionally? Again, it's a girl thing. Can you emotionally put one more thing on your plate?
Yes. I'm gonna say.
I think so. Yeah.
Can you push yourself harder?
Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah.
This group that's in here now, I know can do it.
Push button. Can you push yourself harder?
Yeah.
You're not afraid of getting a bigger plate, because when it gets full on your plate, change the damn plate. Get a bigger plate. Forget about squashing it in there. Get a bigger plate.
You just gotta rearrange the things on your plate, make it work.
Listen, if you talk to yourself, include it in your conversation.
I do all the time. It's like, can you?
No, but you overwhelm yourself.
And then here's the thing. Here's
That's
when
the
fear
difference.
peeks its ugly head. You can't do any more. You can't do any more. Don't put any more on your plate. And then the opportunity sits there, and then the flow comes in and says, it's being given to you. You have to take
You just
the
have to
opportunity.
do it, because who's to say this opportunity is ever going to come back?
It
Right.
probably
And it's
will
coming
not.
at the time when you're supposed to take it. It's everything. It's divine timing. Everything
Intervention.
works. Yeah. So if it
You
comes,
know,
take
it comes at a time when you think your plate is full of. That's when you deem it important, and you think it's a level up. It's gonna happen. You take this in, there'll be another and another and another. But think about it this way: wouldn't you rather live a life with opportunities than a life sitting at home with no opportunities?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Switch
Man,
games.
go for it.
True.
Which is why I never take anything for granted.
Just go
Which is
for
good.
it.
They say that time is the most unappreciated resource. Because all you really have in life is time.
That's what you're gonna sacrifice is time.
People don't also realize how much time they waste throughout their day.
They're
They're
true.
always like, "Oh, I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to work out. I don't have time to study. You gotta get up earlier."
And they don't do it anyway.
Or prioritize your time management. You gotta be
But-
able to actually organize your day and just get it done.
It would be great if they did all of that. Half the things that they say I can't do, I can't do this.
It's
I
the
can't,
same
they don't
people
do
who
it.
say that and have like 6 hours of screen time.
I was gonna say
off
I'm
your
gonna
phone.
check my screen time right now. I swear to you, it's probably
8
like
hours
18
and 22
hours.
minutes. 18
You
hours.
think so?
Let me see if I can find my screen time.
So what do you deem as success in your life? When you end the day, you're gonna have that final conversation. I can't even believe I'm saying that.
Good night, mini me. Good night, little me.
Is that what you say? All the people in my head, good night. Everybody, you go to bed now because you're the one that talks
It's like,
the
who's
most.
the first in line? Lizzie McGuire's right there.
But
front.
do you do that?
Do what?
Do you say at the end of the day, today was successful or not successful?
No, I usually go to sleep in gratitude, and I thank my angels and my guides for the good things that happened, and then I go to sleep in my head.
You guys feel the same way?
Yeah.
Are you satisfied every day when you go to bed that you've accomplished everything you wanted to do?
Well, every day, no.
every day,
Not every day.
Not every day. I leave always something for tomorrow. Like I
Yeah.
look forward to A, B, C, or D. So when I get up in the morning, I'm already on that junction. I'm heading towards that. Like we have an opportunity to have a shoot on a boat. Now, we talked about this I think a week ago. No, I think you brought it up.
I just know you called the guy who has the boat.
Yes.
That's as far as I'm aware.
So I'm going today to go see the boat. I should send you
Where is it?
PGA.
Or take her.
I can go with you.
Said PGA. We have to go up there. We got to see the boat. He wants to show us all of it, and then he has some ideas that he wants to talk about, which is always welcome. So it's going to go from this to it's going to go from mini me to the yachts.
So maybe you take her, because we've got 2 recordings here, so we got to divide and conquer.
But again, I forgot all about it.
Nice.
And he called me over the weekend, and I said, sure, let's do this. So he wants to show us how we could do, and we want to call it Studio Boat. He wants it to be part of our family, to offer it as a studio.
Oh, it's got a Google map.
It sounds amazing.
I was
So,
looking at my screen time.
You like that?
you guys like that?
Yeah.
Oh, we all go. Let's all go. I got no problem.
Just know that
You don't have school
I'm not a
today,
very
Tara,
good
sorry.
swimmer. I'm not a very
You're not a
good
good
swimmer.
swimmer?
I'm not asking you
In
to
a-
jump into the ocean.
I'm just saying, if someone goes overboard, don't look. I can't go in there with
In
you.
a water emergency, your friends and loved ones can be used as a
You know what?
flotation
We'll bring
device.
in Andre. He's a certified lifeguard.
He's
Oh,
a
great.
We'll
lifeguard.
bring him with us.
I don't think the
Fantastic.
guy's ever even been in the ocean. He has a lifeguard job like for the last 8 years.
But when you go to sleep, it's funny. I'm thinking I never go to sleep and say this thing was bad that happened. I always in my mind try to
Oh
find
no, I have had those too.
the gratitude. I'm sitting here thinking I never go to bed and say why did this happen? This was awful.
You don't
Because there's
know.
always something good in the day that happened.
You don't know how frustrated I was when we went down to the Ford restaurant and it didn't work. I couldn't sleep. And Linda kept saying, well, you might as well stay up and watch TV, because she didn't understand what had happened that day. I didn't share it. And I'm thinking, how do I fix this? Why isn't this working? And yada, yada, yada. And then AT&T worked it the next day. So I'm what is that thing?
Manifesting?
Maybe that. I
Everything
doubt it.
happens for a reason.
So now I'm excited because we're gonna go on shoots tomorrow. The boat also becomes another situation because you plug it in on the boat and we should have internet. So all of a sudden, if you keep it docked, we're good to go.
You gotta
Right?
stay in flow. Yeah. So when opportunities present themselves,
Gotta go
you
for
have
it.
to take them.
Yeah.
And on the screen time, I checked it from March 30th until April 5th.
Oh, don't do
Yeah. 56 hours and 36 minutes.
Is that scrolling, or could you be like sending emails? What
YouTube
When your phone
YouTube is
on.
24 hours
And
and
you're
10
looking at it?
minutes.
When you're
When you're
using
look-
your
yeah,
phone.
when
My
you're
Google
using it.
Chrome is 12 hours and 7
Is that a
minutes,
lot?
and my YouTube
56
Music
hours
is
in a
8
month?
hours and 37 minutes.
Is that a lot?
It's a lot.
56 hours and 26 hours on YouTube?
24 hours on YouTube.
But imagine
12
those
hours.
56 hours
I
can
know.
be used for
Something
Okay.
else?
time that we don't have.
How do you
Those
find
things
screen
that we
time
don't
on your
have.
phone?
Sleep. I sacrifice sleep.
No,
Just
how
go
do you
to
find
settings.
Oh, go to settings
Yeah.
and then just type in
I'm pretty literal. How do you
screen
find
time.
it?
Go to settings
Thank you.
Settings, okay.
and type in the bar
Yeah.
Screen time?
screen time. So let me ask you guys: do you guys sleep at night?
Yes.
What time do you go to
Oh,
sleep?
yeah.
Like 2 in the
Last
morning.
night I was out
Okay,
by
that's
11.
crazy.
I went to bed at like
At your
9.
age. How was it?
I went to bed at 9.
9 p.m.
See, this is
What?
disciplined.
I went to bed at like 11:30, but I need to be aiming for like 9.
Mine's not even set up.
Good luck
It's
with
not
that.
funny.
I
Now
try.
you're in trouble.
Yeah, I go to bed at 9 and
It
try to
just
wake up.
measures it as is.
What time did you go to? What time did you go to bed?
Oh, me?
Who are you talking
Oh.
to?
I'm like, who are you, dog?
2 a.m.
Okay,
Oh,
that's more like
When
it.
did you
went?
get up?
Like 10.
6:30.
That's disgusting.
Push button. What time you go to sleep?
Anytime between like 8:30 or 10. I wake up early, so.
Morning.
How the hell can you guys go to sleep at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night?
I turn my phone off.
I'm getting home at that time.
If I'm going to bed, I
Wow.
turn my phone completely off.
I think that's impressive though, because for their generation, I think going to bed early is
Turning off your phone, you do that too?
I do that. If
I
I'm-
don't do that. I look
if
for the
I'm-
news on my phone.
Yeah.
Ice, what time you go to sleep last night?
Probably like 11.
11, I
Yeah,
guess.
I feel.
11 is like a regular
I feel.
Well, the night before I fell asleep at 8:30, so I had to try to fix that.
I'm not
Do
gonna.
you
blame
talk to yourself also?
Do you have
do
internal
this?
dialogue in your head?
All the time. I'm exclusively talking to myself.
Yes.
you.
Exclusively. Exclusive.
I have the best conversations with myself.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you have the best arguments?
yes.
I always
I win. I always win.
You always win?
Yeah.
And I even know what you're going to say in my head.
Oh,
I can have a whole
God,
conversation.
Yes.
No, don't
I
go
can
there.
simulate a
Don't go
person
there.
and have an argument with them. Yeah.
Don't go there because people are going to start looking at you very strangely.
Well, we all do it though.
We all do
Yeah.
what? They know what they're going to
In
what
your
I'm going to
mind,
say.
you know if you say something to me, how I'm going to react before you say it. If you say something to Heather, you know her reaction before you say it. We don't know the other crew well enough. So something it helps you.
I'm
pose
gonna
the
go-
conversation
no, I'm gonna
before
go
you
against
have
the
it, 'cause
grain.
You know the answer.
I'm going to
already.
go against the grain from now on. So when you tell me the sky is blue, it's no, it's not.
You do that anyway.
I'm going to do it anyway.
Like,
I don't do that anyway.
That just means I'm gonna ask you the questions that you always said no to. So
It'll be
because you're gonna
yes.
say yes now. So
you
remember
noticed
that.
my change this morning.
Your change?
Yes, you said.
What change?
What do you want to do? I'm like, well, what would you like to do? And you gave me a number. I'm like, okay, we'll do that.
I gave you a number.
Mhm.
What the hell are you
For a
talking about?
client.
Oh, you know, and is that going to be the
Did
new
notice
you?
That shift?
How long is that going to last?
Only if I like
The only reason that you had that conversation with me was because the king was on the phone. And I'm not talking about LeBron.
Tell the other
No. When Gio's on the phone, my son, and she has a conversation with him, they have this Martian language that I have no idea what the hell they're talking about. And the two of them are going back and forth saying the same thing. But they're just saying it in different ways. But it's the same verbiage.
We understand each other.
They understand each other, and everybody's happy. And me, I'm miserable because she sends me in to go in and say, can you do this? She already has it. I go to her. She goes, I don't have it. I already have it. This went on for 2 weeks. And at the end of the day, they have a conversation today. Why didn't she call him?
Because he's your son.
There you go.
You know?
They call him. She calls him. And it's funny. You're the only one when you call, he picks up the phone.
I've called him like 3 times.
And 3 times he's answered.
Yes,
Yeah.
he always answers when we do call.
That's 100%.
Well, yeah, because you're his dad. It's different.
Oh, I have to give you guys huge props. Nobody even commented. I think Althea did.
What?
The last newsletter that went out on Friday,
I didn't even see it.
56% open rate,
Oh, I saw
Yeah.
that.
which
yeah.
is tremendous.
It's unheard of.
Unheard of.
You know what the average number is for an open rate on a newsletter? 13%.
Oh.
13%.
We were at 36% on a Friday afternoon, first time out. I resent it on Monday and we got like another 20%.
Awesome.
Unheard of. Now, click rate, we got to work on click rate, so maybe we have to change what the buttons say.
Yeah.
What was this newsletter about?
The
fundraiser.
event. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good.
But that was, and I think it just shows you, like you all, whoever put it, I know you worked on it with Layla, I think maybe Brian, whoever did it. Incredible, congratulations. It was condensed, short, and sweet.
Yeah.
But they had to open it, so whatever the title was, people opened it.
Yeah, it was like, I can't
You were
remember.
invited.
Yeah, literally. Like, with a couple emojis. We added the emojis too to like.
Yeah,
You were
I saw
invited,
the
and it was
dancing
a
lady.
Huge, a huge open rate. So we're going to keep sending it out. So you are invited on May 2nd to join us right here at the studio for our Amp Media Futures fundraiser. We've got the zoo. Actually, today is National Zoo Lovers Day, and Palm Beach Zoo is donating 4 tickets, a 4-family pack, to go to the zoo. We've got 4 tickets to the Brew Bus, which is in Tampa. So that's going to be
The what?
the Brew Bus.
What is
We got to look up the Brew Bus.
bus?
Brew Bus.
Is that like a traveling wine?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you paddle and drink.
Oh.
So that looks
Yeah.
pretty
The
cool.
traveling pub thing.
And it's in
Yeah.
Tampa, but I am sure whoever wins
They
it
have one
would
on
love
this
to
side
go to
too, you
Tampa
know.
to do that, which
They have
sounds
one on
pretty
this
cool.
side.
We've got gift certificate from Duffy's coming in. Russ has got a couple gift baskets. Mary Kay. I've got 2 wine tastings from PRP for up to 8 people. A wine tasting at your home.
Are we gonna ask new mom for another one of them big boys?
It's not asking, I have to fill it out. And last time I had to do that, I had to give away everything but my firstborn. So I just have to come up with 3 days to put it together.
I want to do it.
It took me 3 days.
I won that one. I went to New York Yankee restaurant. I hate the Yankees, but I love that steakhouse.
So a lot of cool things. So you are invited to join us on May 2nd at 5 o'clock. Come on out and join us, have some fun. Looking for food donors and some sponsors. Dope Vegan is our first food vendor. We'll see what else we can bring in along.
I gotta ask you, can we bring in food vendor trucks and put them somewhere?
Yeah. If you have the space.
We don't have space.
Did you figure out the parking situation yet?
No, we gotta work on that.
So I think work on that first, and then that'll be your answer if you can have food trucks.
We gotta work on that. Savor Our City is going to get some restaurants to bring in some light bites, as well as I think David from Savia is gonna provide something for us.
Maybe we asked, where would I put food trucks? Maybe on the street?
And then I don't know what you need to do about permitting in the city also, so.
This is getting very, very complicated. We need a bigger boat.
Complicated. We're gonna go see one later today.
We should go to Blue Moon and see if we can hold the event there because they have the entire mall for parking. Then you can put vendors out there. Wow. That's an idea.
All right, we're gonna wrap this up. Have a great morning, everyone. Tune
See
in
how she
today.
changes the subject on me?
I can't. You
See
can't
that?
give away all our secrets.
What secret?
Where are you gonna go?
No, I'm not going. I'm not even gonna show up. I'm going to Tampa that weekend.
I think we've got Ray Gordon joining us to do some music today.
I hope so.
And Helen Arch of Cosmic Astrology Society. So Mercury is straight now. We are direct. We are no longer in retrograde. So now's the time to put all the things together that you want to put together and move forward.
We got some new announcements on the midday show, so tune in for that as well.
All right. We'll see you in a little bit. Have a great morning.
Don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show. My mug is empty, and you know what that means.
I think it means it's time for a coffee refill.
As we prepare for other shows here at the Amp Media Production Studios.
Tune in for more fun and laughs at 12 o'clock for our afternoon show.
And remember to like, follow, and subscribe on our page.
Have a great morning, everyone. Stay safe and be kind to each other.
And don't be late.